everyone, and welcome back to The Sauce with me, Kenzie Taylor. Today, I have a special guest, Miss, your favorite, actually, alternative girl next door, Rocky Emerson.
Hello.
Hi, Rocky.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's my first activity of the day. So
I'm glad I could start your day off. Starting it on a fun, chill note.
Yes.
So what have you been up to lately?
I'm going to take these off because under that headphones, they're intense.
Yeah.
They're like squeezing onto my face. What have I been up to lately? Oh my God, so much. Working, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in LA, which means that I'm shooting pro scenes, which is always fun. And I am like days away from closing on basically like my dream house, which is amazing.
So cool.
And I've just been like traveling and climbing a lot mostly. So everyone keeps thinking I'm retired. And I'm like, I have hobbies.
Yeah. You're like, I don't only do this, okay? I do other things.
Yeah.
I'm a human.
Every time I like post a picture outside, I get a million comments like, are you retired? I'm like, no, I just had a day off.
Isn't it so weird? Like maybe if you don't do a scene for like 2 months, or we can't control when scenes come out, and then people will be like, "What's going on? I haven't seen anything from you."
Yeah, like I've been working. It's just not edited yet. Okay.
Yeah. So how did you get into climbing? Is it you just wanted to do it, or?
It happened during quarantine. I've always been like a very outdoorsy person. When people come to Vegas, I'm like, come on a hike with me. And that was my whole thing, is I was trying to find like the best hikes in Vegas. And I just kind of scrambled on top of some rocks that were like really easy to climb up and posted a picture and was like, I like to climb on things, and had no understanding of what the word climb meant, which I now run into when people talk to me. It's like, it's not getting to the top of a mountain, it's climbing a vertical rock face is what I do. But I was like, I like to climb on top of things. And this boy that I had a crush on a while before that was like, you should come climbing with me. And he took me, and I had like the worst day ever. I like fell all over the place. I was like covered in bruises, but it was during quarantine, so I didn't have work, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, so you're like, okay, fine.
Yeah, so he told me what to buy. I bought like some simple like personal gear, and then I got beat up by the rocks, like just scratched up to shit. Like, I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss, but I did.
Yeah, you are.
Bang.
Cuss away,
Cussing.
baby. I have a potty mouth, so it's all right.
Okay, good. But yeah, I didn't get up to the top of it. I hurt my knee. He had to like literally haul me up. Like, he had to put me on like 6-to-1 like transfer all the way up. And then I was like, I want to do that again. And he was like, oh, you're one of us. Like, if you can get that beat up and want to do it again, like, you like rock climbing.
Yeah.
And so I went with him a few times, and then I got my boobs redone and got COVID, so I didn't climb for a while, and I started going back.
Ooh, you got your boobies redone?
Yeah, they're massive now.
Yeah. Ooh. I know, they're hiding under there.
Yeah, they're hiding.
We did not plan to match, by the way, but here we are. We're wearing pretty much the same thing except different shoes. So.
Yeah. But yeah, long story short, I took a really long time off of it, and then I worked way too much and was like, okay, I need to have a hobby back in my life.
Yeah. And
started going to the gym, and a boy who was a fan, who's now my boyfriend, invited me climbing. And since then I've had a climbing partner. I mean, I've made other friends, but I've had like a consistent climbing partner. And I think that's what really like helped me do it more. So I didn't get into it for him, but he definitely like allowed it to become a bigger part of my life, which was awesome.
He probably taught you quite a few things then.
Oh, yeah. He's been climbing forever. It makes me mad.
I've actually never been rock climbing. I would actually love to try it.
You should come.
So is that the one where you're on the cables and you're implanting things in and going along, or is this something different?
I love when people ask me questions, because I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
Okay. You're like, I don't know.
Yeah, so we have a rope, and then we go up, and we put in our own protection as we go up. Yes, but it's not like the ice picks or anything.
Yeah.
We're using our hands and feet, but yeah, as we go up, we continue to protect ourselves. So like, as you're going up, there's different levels of safety that you feel like when you're past your last thing, you're gonna fall twice as far as how far you are past it, versus when you just put it in and then you're like safe again.
Yeah. Do you wear a helmet? Or are you like YOLO?
I'm a bad girl. I wear a helmet when I'm scared. So if I'm like on lead and it's terrain that's going to be difficult for me, I wear a helmet. If it's a new route and there could be falling rock, I wear a helmet. If it's a place that's like notorious for rock fall, I wear a helmet, stuff like that. But if it's like easy and we're just like on a jaunt, like, because like the height of it doesn't make it scary. It's like the difficulty. So if we're just doing like something easy, like we do a lot of easy, like 400 to 1,000 feet is like
no
the
big deal.
range I usually 1,000 feet is a long day.
I'm like, yeah, no big deal.
But 400 feet, we're like, oh, yeah.
How long does that take? Like, how many hours if you do 1,000 feet typically?
We did like a grade 3 1,000 foot, and we wasted like 2 hours at the base. Wink.
Wink, wink.
And that took us like 12 hours. And
oh god,
oh my god, it was the longest day ever. But then also we were in Potrero Chico, and we did like 400 feet, and it took us like. I also sucked a stick. Minus that, it took us like an hour and a half.
Okay. Yeah. So I have a very small bladder and I pee all the time. And I'm like thinking of like 12 hours, like climbing. How do I pee? I just go ahead, pull my shorts to the side and just let it go down the rocks. See you later.
Yeah, it's a problem for people with innies.
Yeah.
People with like vaginas have a really hard time peeing. Penis people. It's so hard to
and
use
with
the
the
correct
pronouns
words.
and stuff. Yeah. People that have penises.
Yeah, people with penises. It just makes the sentence long. I'm trying to find a short way. It's not working. They can just like unzip and like pull it out.
So easy and convenient.
Other people use like shiwis, which then it's just a whole problem because then you have a wet shiwi to put in your pack. I just hold it. So I drink like a ton of water in the morning and then I pee all morning on the approach. And then we get there and I like pee one last time. And then I have peed on route once. I started a revolution. All the people that stand up to pee were just like on this ledge. I was like, you know, that's really not fair. We were stuck in line. It was a really easy climb. It would have taken us like 2 hours car to car. It took us like 8 hours car to car because we were stuck behind people and I had to pee really bad. And we were actually, I've peed twice on a route. We were on a ledge and it was like it was kind of a busy ledge, which is scary because you can get knocked off if you untie. But I learned that the back of the harness unclips and then you kind of just have to like, it's still super insecure, but you just kind of like shimmy and you're sort of still connected and you can pee. And I was like, I'm peeing and I have to sit to pee and it's just going to be a puddle up here. And then everyone else that sits to pee was like, I'm going to do that. I was like, it's not fair that we don't get to pee all day.
Yeah, right.
So I started a pee revolution on Cat in the Hat.
It's so weird that I think about that, about the peeing aspect, but that's just what I think of.
It's not weird. I get asked
do
that.
long rides in the car, like when I drive to Vegas, because you live in Vegas, so you do the drive all the time, you know. I'm like, okay, 4.5 hours. How many times am I going to stop to pee?
I get asked that a lot.
Yeah,
I get asked that a lot. It is a real problem.
It's funny. It's something that a lot of people might not think of.
Yeah, I mean, we're out there all day, and I get really mad at any of my climbing partners if they are able to pee easily while climbing. I'm like, that's not fair.
You're like, my bladder is about to burst.
Yeah.
Sir. This is not cool.
So I don't drink water all day while I'm climbing. Also, adrenaline stops your functions. And so like I'll get thirsty from the adrenaline, but I won't have to pee it out, which is usually good. But if it's easy, then I'm like not scared and then I have to pee.
So would you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
Oh, God. I think I tell myself I'm an introvert. If I'm an introvert, I am the loudest introvert I've ever met.
Yeah.
I think I like overcompensate.
Like how?
By being loud and like talkative.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to be at home in my bath reading a book or out climbing. And when you're climbing, you don't talk to the person. They're 100 feet away from you all day.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather be there, but then I can go to a party and be like the center of attention and completely comfortable.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I'm extrovert all the way.
Yeah.
But I will say I do like being alone at home and stuff like that. But I feel like that doesn't necessarily make you an introvert. That just makes you a person that wants to chill for a little bit.
Yeah. Want some peace
in your
life.
Like, you know, working in entertainment, sometimes it's like especially our not persona, but character, I guess, in a way you could say. It's like we need to be able to shut that off and have that time to ourselves. It's so important for your mental health.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't take those breaks, and then they just get like so resentful and pissed off at everyone.
I went to an NFT party thing. I don't understand NFTs.
I don't either. I don't get it. NFTs and the crypto, and I'm just like, I feel literally so dumb.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's like a brand thing, right? So people buy Supreme because it's Supreme, not because it's any better than anything else. And so that's what I learned about it, is that it's like this community brand hierarchy stuff. But I went to a party last night of one of the ones that's doing really well. A friend of mine owns like a ton of it. And so he took me, and we're both introverts, and we were like both not drinking, both introverts. It's an open bar, so everyone's just like progressively quickly getting drunk. And we were like, yeah, I mean, I'll stay for you. And we just both kept trying to stay for the other person. And finally I was like, I don't want to be here, so if you don't want to be here, let's go. And he's like, oh, let's fucking go.
You're like, okay, I made an appearance, goodbye.
Yeah.
I actually have a really funny story about NFTs. So, you know, the X3 convention thing that they just had for XBiz or whatever. So I didn't do like work at the convention or anything. I just came the one day, I think it was the last day, to see Busta Rhymes perform, because he's one of the greatest MCs of all time. But so I was walking in, and like there were still some people there like breaking down, you know, their stuff and packing up. And this guy approached me, and I think he was French. And he was talking to me about this company and, you know, NFTs, and we would love for you to join and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, I'll check it out. And then he sent me a message as well on Instagram, and I'm like, okay, I'll look at the site. It's literally nothing but buttholes of people. It's all these girls' buttholes. It's crazy. There's like 50 buttholes on there of NFTs. I'm like, how do you know that that's their butthole? You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I guess if you're a fan, you probably know.
Yeah, you like really study it. But I
have one coming out. I don't understand it, but I don't have to understand it. Like, same thing. Like, they reached out to me. I have to provide them with some stuff, and they're making a little 3D doll in a box, and she like moves around, and she looks like me. It's gonna be really cute,
like a little Barbie.
Yeah, it's
that's
like a
really
little
cool.
Rocky Barbie.
That's cool.
It'll be cool.
Barbie Rocky. So, how many years have you been working in the industry?
Okay, so I think I figured it out, and I think it's 4.5.
4.5? Okay.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But like before that, I was camming and stripping and doing all sorts of sex work, and so it's kind of hard because it wasn't like a major changing point in my life. It was just like, oh, now we film it for professional companies.
Exactly. You're like, there's a little change, but basically you've probably been a sex worker or in entertainment for, you know, a long time.
Yeah.
Longer than that.
Yeah, but like pro porn, I think was January 2018. I don't know why I think we're halfway through the year already. It's been a long year.
Honestly, like I cannot believe it's about to be April in a few days. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like still stuck in January.
Yeah, I'm really mad it's getting hot already. I was like, what happened to spring? They're like, you lived through it. It was there.
I love when it's cold. A lot of people complain, but I love it. I love wearing boots, and it just makes me feel like I'm at home, like in Michigan. Where were you born and raised?
San Diego.
Oh, I love San Diego.
So when it's like, I mean, Vegas winter is cold.
Yeah.
It's good for climbing.
Cold and dry.
Or freezing cold. Yeah. And like my lips just get chapped, and like I had a cut on my lip forever that like wasn't healing. I thought I was going to have like the craziest scar because my lip was just split from how
you
cold
look like the
and
Joker.
Dry. Yeah, it was bad. So...
Yeah, I went and visited because my parents, they'd take like random trips. They're like, hey, we're going to go to Vegas for a few days. And it was in January. And I went and seen them. And we're standing outside in Fremont Street. And I'm breathing in. And it's so cold that it hurt to breathe. Like I was like, oh, let's go inside. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Do you ever, I mean, you probably get asked this all the time, but like, are you into gambling and stuff like that? Or do you mainly just like Vegas for, you know, the nature and all that jazz.
Yeah, for the nature, and I have like really good friends there. Yeah, I don't know. It's the place I've stayed the longest other than when I was a child.
Yeah. So you just like built your home and community there basically.
Yeah, I think I just like pulled my shit together as I was moving there. And so like I was finally a stable person, so I could finally feel like I had stable relationships.
So how do you how are you able to, because you said your boyfriend is not a performer, how are you able to have stable, loving, trusting like relationship with one another?
I over communicate. It's like almost a curse.
I do the same shit.
So he was a fan, so he knew exactly what I was doing at work. So it's not shocking to him.
Yeah.
It also didn't create space for me to be insecure and like downplay it as I was getting to know him.
Yeah.
Because I've done that. I've met people and then be like, oh, it's like, no, I'm fucking crazy on scene and at work.
Yeah.
And so like he knew that. And so it didn't allow space for me to downplay it and be insecure, which was a good start. And then I told him immediately, I was like, by the way, I'm never going to quit for you. Ever. I don't care if your feelings grow for me or you start to get insecure or whatever. I was like, that I'm not quitting for you. I may quit someday, who knows, but I have no intention of quitting for anyone, and I have no intention of quitting in general.
I think boundaries are super important like that, especially when you first start dating, you're like laying everything out there.
Yeah.
Because
I was like, I don't want kids. I'm not retiring.
Yeah. You're like, these are all of the things, okay? Are you cool with that? All right, cool. Let's move on.
Yeah. And then I just like keep him informed of, what I'm going to be doing. And he's definitely learned how to communicate with me, and I've learned how to communicate with him. And like, he's been like, I'm kind of like feeling jealous. Like, I feel like you've been really busy with work. And I'll be kind of like too stern and be like, well, too bad, you agreed to this. And he's like, I'm like, your feelings are valid. Thank you for telling me that you feel that way. I'll be aware, but I'm not going to change anything. But it's not like in a mean way. It's in a very loving, like if this becomes a painful, toxic situation for you to be in, for you to handle, you need to tell me and we'll reassess and walk away from each other. But if it becomes painful and you're too jealous and you can't handle it, I'm not going to change that. I'm not going to change me, but we can change our relationship. And so I think just making that clear and being aware of that and like willing
that's super healthy.
Say that out loud in a non-threatening way.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but for me, I don't know if it's because of, what we do for a job or what, but it's so hard for me to be vulnerable with people. Even like with my husband, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to. It's just so hard for me. But it's funny that you say you like over communicate and stuff, because I do the same shit. Yeah. I'll be like, this is exactly what I'm doing today. And I'll like tell like every single thing I'm doing. And he's like, you forgot to tell me, like, when are you going to go to the bathroom? Or like, it's funny. I'm like, oh, whatever. Sorry.
Yeah. I called him at work this morning and I was like, okay, I'm doing this and this. And he's like, I care, sweetie, but I don't care.
It's like, cool.
I'm like, what are you doing today? And he's like, stuff. Nothing that needs to be told to you. I don't know.
It's so funny. I feel like dudes are just very like nonchalant,
Sorry,
it's
I'm
pretty.
Take my.
Oh no, it's okay.
I'm warm.
Yeah.
I get nervous when I talk to people.
Look at those new girls.
They're very big.
Yeah. So why did you get them redone? Did you want to get bigger, or is it because you had like a medical issue, or?
I definitely was having issues with my old implants, and so I needed to have them redone.
Did you get capsular contracture? That's what I had. I had to get them redone. Like the muscle, like it was stuck to the implant, so it was like this, like touching the table, and it hurt so bad.
So from like day one, I had really bad nerve pain. I think it was in this one, and I would get like crazy shocks of nerve pain, and I kind of just got used to it. But then I don't know if it was like from like bondage or just sleeping wrong or it just happened, but it seemed like it like drifted, like the pocket drifted, and then I was getting like crazy pain on my side as well, where like it shouldn't have been. Yeah. And they like just started looking off, and so I talked to a doctor, and we didn't even like diagnose what was wrong. And he didn't charge me extra, which was really nice. But he like closed the pocket and like moved it where it needed to be. And then I was like, yeah, you can go a little bigger. Like, I think it might help.
I think it really suits you. Like, it's a good size.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I want to take them out. Like half the time. And then I take a picture and I'm like, oh, that's nice. But when I'm sleeping and they're just big and in the way, I'm like, ugh.
I know. I do the same shit. Like if I go to the gym, a lot of the times I'll have to wear 2 sports bras. Because if I want to do any cardio or anything, it's like so heavy and it hurts.
Yeah. My shirt is so tight. Like I get like a size down and this is like a sports bra top.
Yeah.
And I just like have it tight all the time. And then I take photos in them. I'm like, never mind. I want to keep up.
Yeah. Yeah. They look so good though.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, just fill in all the space so that these issues go away and it just kind of sits where it needs to. Because I had a lot of space. Like I kind of like over healed my first set where like the pocket was just huge. I just moved them around too much. And then he was like, don't move them while they're healing this time. I was like, oh, really? And he's like, yeah, just push them in because they drifted out last time. He's like, just push them in to keep that side open. And that's it. Don't go up, down, or out. Just push them in. Yeah. I was like, okay, weird. Yeah. And it worked. So. Yeah.
You're like, thanks, doc.
I had no idea what size I was going to wake up with. I was like,
that's a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah. He was like, we'll do like 400 to 550. And I was like, okay, great. So I thought 550 was like the max. Yeah. I woke up with 650. Oh. So I was like, and then I looked when they were healed and I was like, that's the right size.
Yeah, I think it's good because you're so tall. Yeah. And I know a lot of people comment on your height, but I love it. I love tall girls, tall guys, tall them, they,
people.
Yeah, everyone in general. I just love tall, but how tall are you exactly?
I'm 6'3".
Yeah, you know what I really love is when I see photos of you and Joanna Angel next to one another, and she like comes up to your belly button.
Yeah, I love her. That's our number one.
She's so great.
It's our number one performing photo on both of our Instagrams every year.
Really? That's awesome.
We post like one a year, and it gets like literally twice as much interaction as the rest. It's crazy. I'm like, I wish you guys cared about like my other photos.
You're like, but look at me here.
I mean, I guess there's 2 of us, so it deserves twice as much love.
Yeah. Do you like having sex with her?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's so fun. She has really good energy. She's like me. She's cool. We hang out. We're like bros. Yeah. And then there's something about like lights, camera, action, and we both are just like little like sex demons.
Exactly. It's like as soon as they say like, all right, action, it's like some demonic thing just comes out of you. Yeah, I feel the same way. It's funny. I really like Joanna though, so shout out to Joanna Angel.
Joanna, what's up? Yeah, and every time I work with her, I'm like, man, I need to like up my game. Like she's so good, and I get like inspired. I don't get like threatened or scared or what. I just get like really inspired. And I told her that one day. I was like, yeah, you're just so good. Like, I just want to act like you all the time.
You're like, can I just like shadow you for the day?
Yeah, because there's days, that you're tired and you're like, maybe I'll just be a little calm. And, calm stuff is good too.
Sensual
and stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. I like sensual stuff sometimes, but for the most part, I'm like, how nasty can we get? Like, what company is this again? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm always like, I drool a lot. Yeah. Even when there's not a reason to drool, I'm going to be drooling. And they're like, okay.
I actually have a spit fetish. Do you have any fetishes?
Yeah, I mean, a lot. They change a lot. Right now, currently, it's like sneaky outdoor stuff and
like
real couples.
Like where you think you're going to get caught, it like turns you on.
And you're like, shh.
And then would you say real couples?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been shooting with a lot of girls got boyfriends during quarantine that are now performing. And I'm like, yeah, I'll shoot with your boyfriend. Are you sick?
You're like, all right, are you going to join? You want to watch what's going on?
Yeah, you're going to tell me I'm doing a good job. Tell me what he likes.
Yeah, that's hot.
Yeah, I've always been like that, though, since before porn.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you consider yourself bisexual, or what do you consider yourself?
I'm like super pansexual, and the thing that I'm least interested in, strangely enough, is cis women, but I really like having threes. I love having sex with women. Yeah. But I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, which is funny. Yeah. Because I should know, because I have one.
Yeah. I feel like just try what you like on them. like what you like when someone does to you best.
Yeah.
Try that. And if they don't like it, then communicate with them and just say, you know, like, what do you really like? Like, that's what I always say when I fuck a girl, like before we have sex. I'll be like, you know, like, what do you like? I just like really want to get you off.
Maybe
What
that's
don't
why
you like? I don't want to do things you don't like.
Yeah, maybe that's why I like couples, because their like husband is there to tell me what she likes or to
Yeah.
like help me.
Guide you. It's like a tour guide.
Yeah,
You're
it's
like,
oh,
thanks.
do this, do that. Yeah, yeah, totally.
That's
Because yeah, when
cool.
I'm just with just a girl, I'm like, like
Maybe
that.
a little turtle tongue. You're
Yeah.
like,
Well, I have a tiny tongue too. Maybe
You
that's
do?
why.
oh my God, it's
It's
so
so
cute.
little.
It's so cute.
So my like tongue gets tired really easily because I'm trying so hard to stick it out.
Basically, I feel like you gotta be like,
Yeah, I get really tired.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, so I like everybody.
Is it weird giving a blowjob with a small tongue? I don't have a small
No.
tongue, so I always wonder.
I don't think so. Do you use your tongue?
Wanna
A
give
lot?
a blowjob?
I mean, I use it a little. Like when I'm like teasing it, it's kind of hard.
Like when it's in your mouth, like it's letting it like slide in like on your tongue. And
I mean,
sometimes like wrapping your tongue like on it, if you know what I mean, if you're like hands on it or whatever.
Yeah, I guess I just don't do that because I can't.
Yeah. You're like, wrap it around. What?
People tell me I do a good job though.
Do you like
So,
balls?
Yes.
Me too.
Oh, they're my favorite.
Everyone leaves them out. They
They,
never
like-
get enough love.
They have my favorite thing inside of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you.
it's like a present that explodes. I love it.
Like those confetti, like.
Yeah. Oh my God. I just was featured on singing in St. Louis, Missouri, and I had one of those huge confetti popper gun things.
Oh yeah.
It was so fucking embarrassing. I was on stage. I was at the end of my set. I went over and I grabbed it, and I'm like cranking it, nothing, cranking it, nothing, and I'm like, okay. So I just like threw it off. Everybody was like, what the fuck?
That's so
It was
funny.
so embarrassing.
You're like, gotcha.
Yeah. And then like I didn't know if they were both defective because I got a pack of two. So I went back in the dressing room and I'm like, is this one fucked up too? And I turned it, exploded everywhere.
Oh,
I'm like, God damn it. So then I had to like clean up all the confetti.
They're like, this is the wrong spot to do that. I've never feature danced, but I visited Jessie Lee while she was feature dancing, and she called me up on stage.
Love Jessie. Hi, Jessie.
Hi, Jessie.
Love you.
They called me up on stage. They didn't know I had a sheriff's card, so then Asian Joe was like,
Oh,
gotta get off the stage,
Yeah.
because he was like working for the club or whatever. He's like, you gotta get off the stage, you can't be up there. And I was like, okay. And I got really nervous and like, and I tried to get off the stage and I just ate shit.
Oh God.
I had like a massive bruise. Like it was bad.
Oh.
Like I felt bad.
Did you try like jumping off instead of using steps or something?
No, I don't really know. I was so free. I was like, I don't want to get arrested or like whatever. Like,
You're like, I don't know. Just get me
Yeah.
off here. Was
Yeah,
it it was Sapphire?
what's the one with the Mexican place next to it?
Yeah, Sapphire.
Yeah.
That place is good. The Mexican restaurant.
It's
good.
so good.
I'm not really a fan of the Sapphire Club though.
Really?
Yeah, every time I've went there, it was like, eh. And then also when I was getting a dance one time, I was robbed.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I used to do that.
Yeah, I had a few G's in my wallet.
Oh god.
Because I was like spending it or whatever, and then I'm getting a lap dance, and I look over at the little table, and I'm like, my wallet's fucking gone. I'm looking everywhere for it for like an hour, and then someone came and helped me, one of like the floor dudes or whatever, and he found it in a trash can. All the money was taken out, but my IDs and cards and stuff were still there, and I was like, thank God that's there, because
Yeah, at least you
I
had that.
hate having to get like a new ID and shit like that, because for work, like we can't work without it, so.
Yeah, and at least you brought the money there to like be spent, so it
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh, I needed this.
Yeah, it's just
But
it's just
like
the
less fun.
principle
Yeah,
of
it's
being
rude.
robbed.
I used to rob people at strip clubs. I was yeah.
I was actually robbed my first day living in Hawaii.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's my fault though, but I left my backpack on the beach when I was surfing. I was only out there for like 35 minutes, and I came back
crazy.
in, and my backpack was gone. And that was on Oahu. Whenever I went to Maui, that never happened. So that's why I thought it was just okay. But yeah, there was a brand new GoPro, like a wireless speaker, AirPods, 2 brand new iPhone 12 Pro Maxes, and all this shit. It was crazy, and we had no idea how to get around and all that stuff.
That's not nice. Yeah, the only time I ever robbed people was at the strip club, and they were like the really mean dudes who were like mistreating the girls and like trying not to pay for their lap dances.
Oh, I hate that.
And then we'd be like, let's teach them a lesson before they get kicked out. So I've never just like robbed a random person. That's especially someone who's like there to spend money. Like you were there with money to spend.
I
on the
love
girls.
strip clubs. I started stripping when I was 16. I had a fake ID to be 18. So like, I've been stripping since I was 16, and I'm 31 now. And how long have you been? How long did you strip for?
Just like a couple months. I'm not good at it. I literally I was like a waitress technically, but I did dances and went on stage. But I was also underage, and it was an over 21 strip club, and I was like maybe 18. And so they were like, you get to serve the alcohol since you're underage, because that makes more sense. It's like, okay.
You're like, okay, I'm going to go serve myself. So
yeah.
That's, oh my God, I always got shit-faced for like a really long time.
Yeah, I was always shit-faced.
To like deal with the I felt like there was a lot of pressure if a lot of girls were there. I'm like, I have so much competition. But
yeah. I didn't care about the dudes.
Yeah.
I was just like, these girls are really good.
I know. I'm getting ready in the locker room, and I'm like looking over, and I'm like, oh God, I'm gross. Look at her. She's so hot.
Yeah.
Like, fucking just like dying inside. Where did you dance at?
It was called Angels in Anaheim, California. So if I ever robbed you there, I'm sorry, but you're probably being a dick.
I will say I don't like when there's the customers of the guys that they come in and they have stacks upon stacks of money, and they just sit it on the table and they like wait.
Yeah.
And wait for girls to come up, and then they
don't
hardly
give you
spend it.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? That's so ridiculous. Just take your money and get out of here. So
Yeah.
I never understood that. So
I want to look cool. I want to be like, look at all these girls that just came to my table. I didn't even have to pay them. It's like, well, you lied to them. So
well, they're not here for you. They're here for that money. Okay?
Yeah.
What's something that you haven't gotten to do but you would like to do? Either in the industry or just in your life in general. Like basically a few things of a bucket list, I guess.
Okay. I really want to climb the Matterhorn. I was talking about it on the way here, so that's fresh in my mind. It's really easy. It's only 5'7", grade 3. It'll take a day. It'll be so easy. But yeah, I want to go to Switzerland, and I want to get to the top of the Matterhorn. And I probably want to climb El Cap, but that sounds really hard.
Hey, it's a bucket list. So
yeah.
It's like,
my boyfriend was like, can't wait to climb El Cap with you. And I was like, maybe in like 20 years, and then I'll be too old. And then at work, I don't know. I feel like I've done a lot.
what's your favorite type of like scene that you have done? If you had to pick like, I guess a genre per se.
Oh, you know what I really want to do that a friend of mine is making happen is she's going to be doing like pansexual orgies. And I really want to be in one because that's all of my friends.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it Aiden Star?
It's Aiden Star, yeah.
Aiden, I love you.
I love you, Aiden. I got to shoot for her like
God, I love her.
Or yesterday.
I just like want to crawl inside of her
inside of her boobs.
And just in the cleavage.
Yeah.
I'm like, can I just sit in there, Aiden? Like, can I just like live for a little bit? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I love her so much. I really look up to her actually.
Yeah, me too.
That's really cool then. So the first thing that you said, Matterhorn, that's in Switzerland, you said?
Yeah.
I never even think of going to like Switzerland. Like there's so many places.
It's so beautiful. I want to go so bad.
There's so many places. You know how on Instagram, like if you go to the search thing or whatever, it'll show like explore.
Oh,
it'll show a bunch of different things. I always, because I follow a lot of like traveling things and stuff, I always like see all these amazing spots, and I'm like putting them in my notes so I remember like where it is because I want to go there.
Yeah, if you go to like Zermatt, that's like the town by the Matterhorn, then you can see it. But Switzerland has so many beautiful places. It's the Swiss Alps, like it's gorgeous. Or the French Alps. French Alps look really pretty too.
Yeah, my favorite place I think that I've ever been is London.
I haven't been to the UK at all. I was supposed to go to Ireland, but I didn't go.
London's really cool, and like I don't know if you're into like history stuff, but
Yeah,
it's pretty cool for like World War II and all that. There's a lot of history there.
I feel like I just go places to climb now. Like I'm going to Puerto Rico.
You're like, where am I going? Okay, where can I climb up?
Yeah, I'm going to Puerto Rico to climb in 2 weeks. I'm really excited. It's like nothing tall, but it's going to be like fun. And we're just going to be a bunch of friends climbing in Puerto Rico at the beach. Sounds great.
That does sound great.
Yeah.
What do you wear when you climb? Do you just wear like shorts and a top? Do you wear like, do you have to wear like pants, or like what do you wear?
It depends on the weather. I have Carhartt leggings, so they like protect me from getting scratched up.
Yeah.
But there's like climbing pants. They're just expensive.
Yeah. I feel like everything's overpriced for different things. Like I just went and bought a pair of snowboarding pants like a little while ago, and they were like almost $300, and I'm like, they're just snowboarding pants. Like there's nothing, it's nothing special. They're just black pants.
Yeah.
But okay.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
So yeah, usually I try to wear like longer pants just to protect myself. But depending on what it is, like sometimes I'll wear just like tight leggings if I feel like I'm not going to get scratched up, or if I'm like going to be inside a crack and I don't want loose material, then I wear like all tight stuff. And then like this is one of the tops I climb in. I live in my climbing clothes, so what I'm wearing.
Yeah, you're like this. What do you wear for shoes?
Climbing shoes.
Okay, so it's a special type of shoe you have to wear.
Yeah.
Does it have like things in the bottom of it?
No, they're actually like they're little like socks, sort of. They're like and you're supposed to go like a size below your normal size, like tight, and then they like curl your toes down. They're like there's like normal to like more aggressive, but they literally like curl your toes.
Sounds
and they have
painful.
These little, like, they are painful. These little like talons on them, and then they're like rubber protected. But there's like different shapes and rubber for different uses. But they're basically just like really tight rubber socks.
Interesting. It almost sounds like what like the shoes that I wear like for surfing. Sometimes they're these little like tight shoes, but they don't like curl in, and that sounds so painful.
Yeah, they make your feet into little talons, so you can like get on the little edge. Yeah,
I'm just thinking of a dragon for some reason when you say talons. So let's see. What is the funniest thing that's happened to you lately?
Oh man, my life sucks. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. What's the funniest thing that's happened to me? I feel like yesterday we laughed a lot. I think one of the funniest things that happened somewhat recently is my boyfriend's a very sweet, nice person who's like not capable of making fun of me, really, and he wasn't even trying to make fun of me. And I said something, and he was like, yeah, you're huge. And I was like, oh, and I just like died laughing. So I was like, you actually meant that? And it would have been a good like, ooh, diss.
Yeah.
And I was just like dying. So now everyone says it to me all the time. They're just like, oh, she's huge. Like, oh, thanks.
That is funny.
You had to be there. But it was hilarious because everyone was like, how did that just come out of his mouth?
You're like, thanks, babe.
Thanks.
I appreciate it. What do you think, like, what doors has being in the industry opened up for you? Like, where has it taken you in different areas?
Well, I met the person I'm dating because he was a fan, so that made climbing way more accessible, which is weird that, like, being in the industry, like, made climbing a bigger part of my life.
It's really cool, actually.
It's kind of cool, yeah.
Especially you seem very passionate about it, so it's awesome.
Yes, it keeps me sane. I have these nails on for work right now, and I'm like, oh, I can't grab any rocks. I'm like losing my mind.
Oh my! I've gotten my nails done a few times, but now I just have regular like.
I need to do that.
I can't. I break them, or I end up like trying to chew them. Yeah. Oh, they hurt so bad too when you jam them, and it's tough having nails. Okay.
Yeah. And then it's like it's introduced me to a lot of friends. Like, you know, like you're in a different like walk of life where you kind of understand what it's like to be recognized or to like want privacy or whatever. And so you kind of can meet people who feel the same way in different industries like music and whatever, and make friends with them. So I got to hang out with like a musician that's a dear friend of mine yesterday and like go to this NFT thing and like just like stuff like that. I feel like a lot of personal connections are made
That's really cool.
But like,
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like different. Like other people meet people at work or at like, you know, the coffee shop they hang out at, and I meet people on Instagram.
Sliding in those DMs.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah. Well, I've gotten a lot of like insider knowledge about famous people. Because I'm like, oh, you're in my DMs. That's always fun.
Speaking of musician, what type of music do you like?
I don't listen to music.
You don't?
No, people think I'm like a serial killer when
What
I
do
say
you-
that.
I actually love serial killers. I'm like all about like true crime stuff, and I
Yeah.
watch tons of documentaries, and it's weird, but
I mean, I'll sing and dance along.
in the car. Like, what do you? Nothing.
Nothing.
Not even like piano music. Nothing. Oh wow, I love music.
I drove cross country twice with nothing on.
Oh, I would never be able to.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like when I drive my van around now, like I'll drive it for 8 hours at a time, like no music.
Is it just soothing to you,
I have no
or
idea.
you just are like, I don't want it because it's a distraction, or
Well,
have you always been that way?
I think it actually happened. Fun fact for people who don't know this about me, I used to be a heroin addict, and I got sober off heroin a very long time ago.
Congrats, that's awesome.
Yeah. I don't
Pound
really
it.
put anything in my
it,
body
bruh.
anymore
Yeah.
except for like green tea.
Yeah.
But the only thing that I like keep track of as far as an anniversary is that. And that was 8 years ago. I don't know what year it is right now.
2022.
Okay. It was almost 8 years ago. In May, it'll be 8 years.
You're like 8, 9, I don't know.
Yeah.
past
it's been
5.
a long time. Yeah, it's past
Yeah.
5. I'm safe. So when I was like trying to stop, and it wasn't a successful attempt, but it was a semi-successful, I stayed off it for a while, which if you know anything about it, staying off it for 6 hours is a big deal. And I had probably made it like a month or two, and I called my friend and I was like, can you explain this to me? I just drove for an hour with no music on, and I didn't feel crazy. And he was like, that's called peace. And I was like, oh, wow. And so I think I've just been obsessed with the idea that I can sit in peace in a car for a really long time and not like blare music and like try to scream all my feelings and anxieties out. Not that everyone who does that is like a crazy heroin addict.
Yeah, no.
But it was just like
it's just your journey.
Yeah, it was like a weird turning point in my life where I was like, I can sit in silence by myself.
Yeah.
I do still put on like the radio if I get bored and like, but it's not because I need a distraction, or I'll like call people. I use the car time a lot to catch up with people if I have service.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I'm like in the middle of the desert with no service, I don't plug it in an aux cord. I'm just like, all right.
Do you listen to music when you climb or no? No?
Never.
Wow, you have a lot of peace in your life.
I don't put on headphones in the gym.
So much like silent times. Like, I guess maybe in a way that makes you a little bit introverted. You know what I mean?
Or crazy.
No.
Like my favorite nighttime activity is to take a bath and read a book because it's like silent
That's
and I'm
great.
like weightless and I'm just like,
I
reading
love
a book.
baths. Oh, do you like bath bombs?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, love it.
Of course. Who doesn't? You get to like watch your water fizz.
It smells good. And
I like the ones with little treats, like little prizes inside, like really shitty jewelry. You're like, ooh, a pony ring.
I never seen that.
Really?
Yeah, that's
there's,
funny.
Yeah, there's ones with like you can get stones inside of them.
That's
so
cool.
you get to keep like a whatever,
Yeah.
like a piece of jade or whatever.
Interesting.
Or like dumb jewelry. I had one that had little charms for like a kid's charm bracelet.
Uh-huh. You're like, thanks.
I don't keep them. It's just fun. You're like, what's inside of it?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of, what was that? Cracker Jack. Remember that? And they had the little things in the bottom, and you're like, what's in here?
Yeah, it was never anything good. It was like a piece of paper
God,
with a
I feel
cartoon
old
on it.
saying that. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I just aged myself. Younger people are like, Cracker Jack, what?
I know.
I know, I said the same thing, but
then I talked to 18-year-olds at work, and I'm like,
yeah, I worked with someone who was 19 recently, and she was like, how old are you? I was like, 31. She goes, well, what year were you born? I was like, 1990, and she goes, wow, that was so long ago. Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I just want to curl up in the corner immediately.
Yeah, so
with
the
a
90s,
blankie.
the 90s now are what the 60s were to us.
Yeah,
That's very sad.
it is, because
I remember being like,
I loved it.
60s was so
Yeah.
long ago.
Yeah, right. I loved the 90s though. Like I even loved like the style of like how people dressed and stuff like that. I mean, not all of it, of course. Like,
it's coming back.
Jinko jeans, no.
Yeah, those were a bit too wide.
Those were bad.
Yeah. It's coming back, though. I see it's funny because they say the 90s were so long ago, and then they have, like, these little, like, crop top with the frills and, like, these, like, bell-bottom high waters. I'm like, I got teased for wearing that, so I'm really glad you're enjoying yourself and you're cool now, because I was not cool.
You're like, cool, thanks. I used to love, the bell-bottoms, but the ones that didn't have pockets on the butt.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, ooh, look at my booty.
I didn't have a butt, and I tried to do it, and so then they were just like saggy.
I didn't really have a butt either. I imagined that I had one.
Yeah. Until you're like, look at this.
Yeah.
You gotta pull your thong out a little.
Oh my God, do you remember that? Pulling it up on your.
You're like, oops.
They're like, what color is it today? Because like everybody would do that. It's so fucking weird. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, my friends and I had a code like, oh, if you wear white underwear, it means you kissed a boy yesterday. Like stupid stuff.
If you wear red, that means you're horny.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? If you had to pick, like, you probably got asked this a million times, but I like the question. If you had to pick, like, one scene out of any scene you've ever done that you really enjoyed, like, every single thing about it, what scene would that be?
Jeez.
Like, it was just a perfect day, perfect talent, perfect sex.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Most of them, honestly, I spend a lot of time, like, I just got an agent, so most of my shoots I have like spoken directly with the director and made sure I want to be there. But yesterday was incredible. So I worked with Emma Rose for Aiden Starr.
Emma.
Like, enough said.
Yeah, Emma is so beautiful.
So beautiful. And we came with the same energy yesterday. We just like both like
so lucky.
Wanted to do the same things. Yeah. And it just was like flawless. Like anything I did, like there was so much nonverbal, and we had just met.
Yeah.
So much nonverbal communication, so much flow. Like we only took breaks to drink water, not because we were like, oh, that was really awkward. Like redo that. Or, you know.
Did you top her at all? Or no? Oh, okay.
No,
that's hot.
I bought him the whole time, which was amazing.
Yeah.
If I was topping, we would have stopped a lot.
I like want to watch that now, so I'm like, okay, when's it gonna come out? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. She asked me who I wanted to work with. I was like, Emma, I love her, and then Emma was like, Rocky, I love her. Yeah. And then we showed up, and she's like, so how'd you guys meet? And we're like, right now. And she's like, you guys love each other. What do you mean? Like, you've never met? And we're like, no, we just knew it would be good.
Yeah. We just stalk one another on social media. Yeah. It's not a big deal or anything. Yeah. It was the same way for me and Daisy Taylor.
Okay.
We had never really met in person, and then we met, and then she came and we met in person at AVN at the convention, and that was when she had blonde hair, but she was like, oh my gosh, she was like, I'm nervous. Yeah. She's so fucking funny. She's one of the funniest people I know. But and then we ended up working together because Aiden did the same thing. Like, who do you really want to work with that, you know, you're like passionate about? And I'm like, Daisy, and then Daisy said me, and that's awesome. I love that Aiden does that.
Oh my God. And she was like, this is why I asked you. Like, that was incredible. And
like, because you get such it's a sensual but passionate but still kind of nasty scene.
Yeah, like we weren't overdoing the nasty to fill that we weren't interested. Like we weren't
probably really beautiful.
We were just like it like had so many like ups and downs to like what the energy was. It was great.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. I like called my boyfriend. I was like, that was such a good day at work. He was like, thanks. I like told him all about it. He was like, cool. Like,
he's like, all right, bye.
Yeah, he's like, I don't care. Again, I just don't care.
He's like, you already told me this like 20 times.
Yeah, I know. He was like, I'm glad you had a good day at work. I am busy. He was probably like with his friends, and I'm like, and then she fucked me. Like, he's like,
let me take my phone. Yeah, let me take my phone off speaker, okay? Yeah. It's so funny when you get calls, like if you're in the car and someone else is in your car, and I've had like friends call and I'll answer, and they'll start the conversation with like, can you believe he fucked my ass? Blah, 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 blah. Like all this stuff. And I'm like, whoa, I'll have to call you back. I have people in my car.
You have like a civilian in your car and you're like, well, I just got outed. Sorry.
Yeah. I think I I have a lot of friends that are not in our industry, so civilians, as we say.
Yeah,
but
most of my friends are civilians.
I like that though. Like I like having the balance of you know having some work friends, but also having people that aren't in our industry that are understanding of it.
Oh yes,
because I've also came across, and I'm sure you have too, people that are like, I didn't know, you know, that you did that. I can't.
Yeah, and then they like stop hanging out with you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay. Like
Yeah.
when I first got sober, my first sponsor, she made me lie and say that I just worked in movie production because she didn't want everybody to know that I was a porn star. Yeah, and I was like, we're supposed to be rigorously honest, and you're telling me to lie,
Yeah,
and
you're,
I'm
like,
trying to
giving
stay
me
sober.
insecurities.
Like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Oh
So,
my God,
yeah,
that's so bad.
I only had her for 90 days, and then after that,
She
I
was
was
doing
like,
her best.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I can't lie anymore, and I just want to be myself. It was weird.
The worst thing for me is like I lose climbing partners a lot because like we'll start climbing, they maybe don't know who I am. It eventually comes out. They don't care, whatever. We don't date. We're just like homies. Like I have a lot of male friends because it's mostly male climbers. We have some girls in the group with us, but it's mostly dudes. And I'm glad I found them because like the journey to finding my group outside of like my partner, but like my group of climbing friends was like I'd hang out with this dude and we'd go climbing because I like multi-pitch climbing, so it's one-on-one. It's not group climbing like staying on the ground.
Yeah.
And so we'd like go climbing all day and we'd like get this good partnership. We'd get psyched and then they'd get a girlfriend and then their girlfriend would find out who I was and then they would never answer my calls again. And I'm like, we're literally I've been climbing with him for 3 months and we haven't even touched each other. Like, how am I a threat to you?
Yeah.
I'm very busy with my boyfriend and my job. I don't have space
That's the
for your boyfriend.
A lot of girls that aren't in the industry, it's an issue that if you have friends that are their boyfriends and stuff like that, I've came across that too, and they just get so jealous and threatened instantly, and like you're just gonna jump on them and fuck him right then and there. Yeah, like all we do is fuck and that's it. Like I'm just friends with him. Like I would never touch him. Like
one of my best friends and I like flirted for a moment when we first met because we're like, you're tall and have tattoos. Oh. And we just like flirted for a moment, and then he takes photos of me and we climb together and like we just do a lot of the same stuff together and we work well together. And he started dating this girl and I started dating my boyfriend, and we both at the same time were like, nah, like within like 3 days, I swear. Like we met and we like, I don't even know if we were flirting. We were just like bonding quickly and both were like, I'll admit you're attractive, but like, you know, that was it.
Yeah.
And I think that our significant others were worried about each other for a while. But then we like all met and I'm like obsessed with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like I don't even text him anymore. I'm like,
yeah.
What's up, girl?
Yeah,
like,
you're just texting her. You're like, yeah, forget about you.
Which is great because that doesn't happen a lot. You know?
That's true.
He takes naked photos of me and she will like call me and be like, girl, I just walked in on him editing your photos. Sorry, by the way, but you look great. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. Like women supporting women. Yes. Or just people supporting people in general.
Yeah.
It's super cool. I'm just going to ask you one more question and then I will let you go because I know you have a busy day.
I do have a busy day.
How would your friends and family describe you?
I don't know. Wow. Okay, let me think.
Funny's definitely one of them. You're very funny. Yeah.
Yeah. I think my friends would say that I'm like outspoken and like honest and I don't know. Invisible, can never show up.
Yeah. Do you ghost people?
I don't ghost people.
Okay.
I literally just say like, oh, I'm not coming. And they're like, why are you in this group chat if you never show up to what we're playing? And my family would probably say that I'm like hardworking and what's the word for people that like can't sit still? Like I travel too much. That word.
I don't really know.
Adventurous?
You're adventurous, yeah.
Yeah.
Adventurous and
because my friends are also adventurous, so they wouldn't see it. They wouldn't say it. But my
you're
family's
like an independent boss bitch, you know?
Yeah.
Just like really thriving, you know?
Yeah.
I would say that for sure.
Thanks.
Yeah,
You too.
you're welcome. Well, thank you so much for coming here today, Rocky. I appreciate it.
Me.
If you could share with everyone your social medias, your website, anything like that to lead them there, go ahead.
If you go to whoisrocky.com, it'll take you to all my social medias. And if you want to find my sites where I'm naked, they're on my Twitter.
And Who is Rocky is Rocky is ROCKY.
Thank you.
Not IE. So
yes. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And I guess we found out what the sauce was with Rocky.
That's
So see you guys next time.
Bye.